right. We're going to do a 5-minute today. I got 5 minutes remaining on charging my rental that I'm using for Uber. Uber will allow you to rent anything, honestly, but mostly some kind of electric vehicle, some hybrid, something like that. And they give some kind of some kind of money back, something like that. It was a little bit of a gimmick. And in the end, I do think you net a profit, and that's a different story or whatever else. But just so if you know, that's the thing that's out there. So I did spend the night designated driver for Atlanta, parts of it. I think if it's 8 o'clock now, it was it was definitely over 15 hours, but I took a 2-hour nap in between. But the last drop, as an example of what this can do, what driving by Atlanta can do, my last drop went from Sandy Springs to Ellenwood. And I could have not taken it because, frankly, I was very low on battery energy. But I was like, Ellenwood, I got to go to Ellenwood. Ellenwood is where I'm from. You can see that I'm haggard. I'm haggard. The hair is messed up. My eyes probably look some kind of weird. There's probably other things wrong with this visual presentation. But the presentation that I saw in Ellenwood was shocking to me. I know the technical aspects of Ellenwood is where I grew up. And the two things I always state about Ellenwood is that it's one zip code in 3 different counties. And then I learned that it's actually 4 different census tracts. Or its census tracts are in 4 different counties. So there's more than 4 census tracts. But the census tracts cover 4 different counties. So the 3 counties that it's in is Henry, which is the vast amount of it, DeKalb, small swath, and Clayton, which is the part I've never actually really been to. I've been to the housing residential part of Clayton, but not really anything else. And I didn't until an hour ago did not realize how industrial it was. I mean, Clayton County, Ellenwood is almost pure industry. And really, I'm going to mention 2 things, and I am going to get some sleep today, a full night of sleep. One thing I've learned, or one thing I've seen driving a while Atlanta, is I really believe that what you see when it comes to race and class is a function of the industry that predominates that space. And I think it's definitely county, right? But within county, I think there are like these small metropoles or micropoles that I think count as well. And I won't go too much further into that, but I think it's something that I would like to see when it comes to figures, to know if the facts work. And then we can then deduce that what types of racial and class segregation do exist in Atlanta and does, is a function of what the occupational segmentation is within these different industries. I look forward to that analysis. I noticed it a while ago when I was driving, but I can't let it go. Now I have to keep it, because the main thing about Elwood, besides the technical part that I just mentioned, and I guess it will go a little bit longer than 4 minutes because it's still 3 minutes remaining on my charge, supposedly, is that each of those counties have vastly different racial class cross sections. And it's race class. It's not race and it's not class. It's race class, race dash class. So one of the things that it has been identified about Atlanta within the research on segregation is that Atlanta has both high levels of racial segregation and high levels of class segregation. And I'm not going to go too much further into that because I don't think it's either. I think it's the combination of both, which then creates a spatial crystallization, right? Where in the middle of extreme affluence, you can also get extreme poverty. So one of the things, and it's just like a short one, in every neighborhood, there's a hood. I guarantee you that. If you want to call me on it, tell me a place and I will tell you where the hood is. In that place, in Buckhead, in Roswell, in Alpharetta, in Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, in the places that are the most affluent, I can find you the hood. And I can tell you why and how to find the hood in each of those places. In each of those places, there are ethno-racial affluence and ethno-racial hoods. And we can say ethno-racialized, right? We can say that. And that's not what I expected. I don't think it's also the story that is intimated within this conversation around segregation. What I do believe, I knew it when I first started and wanted to study neighborhoods. But living it, growing in it meaning as an adult, I see it much more. All the stuff we know about neighborhood effects, about residential segregation, they don't apply here. They don't apply. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't facts that look similar and there are not figures that have the same numbers or the same dimensions. But when you look at it, when you actually get inside the space, you will